Hi there again, Paul Kirtley here. Hope you're doing well. And I'm sat quite close to the camera today because I want to make sure you see some of the details of what I would like to share with you today, what I'd like to show you. And this is based on a question I've seen quite a few times in one specific context, but also more generally. When I did the second collaboration video with Mike from TA Outdoors, I used a particular knife, and I've been asked about that, and I've also seen comments under Mike's video about what knife are you using, because I guess it's a little bit unusual for a lot of people. It might be the rarest Woodlore knife out there, and it's this one here. Which is the Woodlore Instructor's Knife, and I gained this when I was working with Ray Mears at Woodlore in the 2000s. So I started assisting on Woodlore courses in 2003, having gone through a range of their different training programs, and Ray Mears asked me if I would like to assist on courses in the UK, which I started doing in 2003, and I did that for a couple of years. And then after doing that for a couple of years, I was offered a full-time job. So I'd been working part-time, assisting on courses, and then I was offered a full-time role as course director at Woodlore. And then I was heading up the team training, running a lot of courses. We were running so many courses back in the mid-2000s. Ray Mears was on television a lot. It was pre-financial crisis. People felt like they had lots of money. Every time we put courses on the website, they sold out almost immediately. We were sold out 18 months in advance. We had a waiting list, and we were running 16 or 17 fundamental courses every summer. I was running about half of those myself. James and Willow were running some of the others. James Bath, who works with me now, and then we were running campcraft courses, we were running wood sense courses, we were running journeyman courses up in Scotland. I used to run a couple of those every year, and yeah, just out teaching and working on skills, and it was still a rapid learning curve for me at that point. And after teaching on courses for a couple of years, Ray presented me with this. Teaching full-time on courses, Ray presented me with this, which is the Woodlore Instructor's Knife. And it's a bit contrasty today. I hope you can see it's, you know, I'm out on a hike in the winter and the sun's quite low, but I've tried to get in a position where the light's reasonably good. I hope you can see that, okay? You can see this is an Alan Wood-made knife, and he made the original Woodlore knives. This is my original Woodlore knife, which I got back in about 2000. And you'll see that it looks a slightly different shape. That's because it's been used so much and sharpened so much and used so much and sharpened so much. This got a lot of use, a lot of heavy use this. Again, it's an Alan Wood knife, but it's not etched so well on there. It's not etched so deeply. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but it does say designed by Ray Mears, Ray Mears design, R Mears, a wood maker, England. And there's a Woodlore logo in the middle there. And that's the standard Woodlore knife as it was made back then. Maple handle, leather sheath. A lot of people ask me about the nobbin at the bottom here. It's like, what's that swell? What's that for? It isn't for anything. Again, it's because this has been used a lot. You can see how well used this sheath is. That is simply because the end of the tip of the knife gets pushed against the side when that gets bent sideways. And it's been on my belt so much, and you can see that even more with the instructor's one there on both sides, because that's flexed against the knife and that's pushed on the inside. It's why you want a good thick leather sheath. You can also see how worn that sheath is. But back to the knife, the blade of this is, because you know, this is for people who want to know, right? The blade on this is a standard Woodlore knife blade, Alan Wood knife, but you can see, I hope, if it's focusing on my face there, but there we go. Hope you can see that's etched a bit more deeply than my other one, and you can see the Woodlore logo, you can see Ray Mears' name, you can see Alan Wood's name, and that's what the Alan Wood knives have. And this blade is just like the blade that you would get in the standard one with the handle like I just showed you with the maple handle, but this is the instructor's version. And what's different about this is the handle. It's the antler handle. So sometimes people refer to this as the antler handled knife. And the antler, I'm told, I was told by Ray Mears that this is Barasinger antler, which is a really nice fine antler, really nice for this type of fine finish. You'll also see it's got red liners in there as well between the antler and the blade there, the tang. Now, one slight difference between this and my other knife, and this isn't the special thing about the instructor's knife, it's just how the knives evolved over time, I believe, is that this one is reduced a little bit in thickness towards the back, whereas this one, which is a bit more old school Woodlore, is the same thickness all the way through. They're both 01 tool steel, which is a high carbon steel. Right, so other than that, the blades are similar. You'll also notice that the handle on the instructor's knife is a bit fatter. There's more of a swell here in the center, and I actually prefer that. It's one of the things I really like about that knife. It fits really well in my hand, that swell in the center, and I believe that some of the later wooden handled ones also had more of a swell there as well. This one was always fine for me, but it's a little bit small, and I've tried some other people's which are even thinner and a bit too small for my hand, but that one was fine. That was my knife for many years, basically from 2000 until I got this one, which was about 2008. So all of those kind of years teaching before I got that one, this was a knife that I was using. Really, really solid, robust, simple design, quite a basic design in a lot of ways, but it works. Okay, flat bevel. They came slightly concave the way that they were ground, but because they've been on stones a lot, they're now a flat bevel, which is what I want on these. A Scandi grind, basically. Flat bevel, 4mm thick, tapered a bit towards the end. But as I say, the only real difference between this and the standard one is the handle. And there aren't many of these, weren't many of these given out. I don't have a full list of people who had these, but people like Juha Rankkonen, who I learned from, had one of these. I think Ben McNutt had one of these. Andy Wood had one of these. Woody. John Ryder, of course, as well. Lawrence, I think, got one. And then after me, James Bath, who works with me, Dan Hume, received one of these ultimately as well. So all good people. Of course, Mears has one and has had several over the years. And I'm sure there are some other people that Mears has given these to that I'm not aware of. So those are some people that have been given these, and I'm sure there's a few others around, but they're probably not that many, so they are quite rare. Now, of course, I've seen people who've got a standard Woodlore and they've put an antler handle on them to make it look like this, because people find it attractive, people like it, but it's a bit like you like the look of a black belt and you go and buy one because you like the look of it. I think the special thing about this is, the special thing about the genuine ones is that you earn them. It's a mark that you've stepped up to being a full instructor in the eyes of Ray, which is, when I was coming up, that was an important thing for me. When I received this is many years ago. It's 16 years ago that I got this, and I've done a lot since then, but that was an important stepping stone, good validation, good recognition of my hard work, and it's a nice thing to own. But as I say, there's nothing special about the blade. It's the handle that's different, that just makes it distinguishable from the standard Woodlore. And then the sheath, it's the original sheath. It's had a few fixes, bit of stitching needed to be, that's actually still coming away, that needs fixing again, but it has had a fix on the stitching. Here it became loose, it also became worn. I had Becky Brewster, who made this sheath. She made a lot of the really fantastic leather work for Woodlore. She restitched that for me just to tighten it up. That's what some people ask, what's that extra line of stitching for? It's literally just to tighten the sheath up because it became too loose. I mean, it's still just about to fall out of that sheath, which isn't ideal, but it was just coming out when the sheath was upside down, and so I had that tightened up. I guess I could have done it myself, but I worked with Becky at the time, so I just said, oh, Becky, could you do some of your lovely stitching on there with the original thread, just to tidy that up. So she did, and that's something I still use from time to time. As I say, it was in that second video I did with Mike from TA Outdoors, and if you'd like to watch that, I'll link it below. If you'd like to learn more about one of my other Woodlore knives, I've got 3 Woodlore knives. If you'd like to learn about one of the others that's quite special as well, I'll link to that video here, and you can go and watch that next. So hope you found that interesting. Bit of a potted history of this knife. I didn't go into the history of how it came about. That's not my place to talk about that and how it was developed, but I just wanted to tell you the story of how I came about mine, what it is. People often ask, what is that knife that you're using? I use it sometimes, and it's in some videos that are out there that have got a lot of views, and so people are interested in what it is. That's what it is. It's a Woodlore Instructor's Knife with a Barasinger antler handle that I was given personally by Ray Mears back in 2008. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you in another video before too long. Take care. Cheers. And make sure you watch that linked video about the other Woodlore knife. See you there.